Hey, good morning. How are you doing? Or maybe it's good evening. I don't know. Could be good evening. Could be good afternoon, whichever it is. Hello, I'm glad you're here. Uh, I just wanted to reach out to everyone real quick, whether you're one of my virtual students or in-person learner, whatever the case might be. Uh, this video is really specifically for you. Just a little bit of just a brief housekeeping of some things. Those of you who have been doing everything you're supposed to do, congratulations, good job, and thank you for doing that. The quality of your work shows that you've been keeping on task with things like, well, I don't know, going and checking the calendar and seeing any adjustments that are there, when things are due, what is due, and then kind of like managing your time that way, along with the planning guides. Remember, those are the two places that you're always going to want to focus most of your time for this, from any of my classes that you might be enrolled in, is the calendar and the planning guide. Those two things are directly aligned with each other, and you can easily see anything and everything on what is happening, any changes that I make to our timeline, when things might be due, things of that nature. If those of you who've been doing that, fantastic. If you haven't been doing that, we're at the making and you watching this video. We are a few weeks into the quarter. So if this is later in a semester and you happen to be seeing this, the same things may apply. The gist of this, the takeaway from this is manage and budget your time the best way that you can for this class or for anything, and you're going to find that you're going to be more successful. You may notice that I've made some changes to some things recently that have to do with the upcoming assessment, for instance. You see the things on the calendar, but definitely click on them, because not always, but often, when on the items that are on the calendar, if you just tap on it, an info bubble will pop up and it'll give you some descriptions of stuff that I've put in there. It's extremely important, and things that might be changed or more important, I will highlight and or bold them or something like that to that effect, so that you can quickly see that. But you're going to want to always pay attention to that. Or I just may literally just click and move an assignment from one day to another, from these 2 days to these 2 days, whatever the case might be. You'll notice that there's usually like a range of time for things, and like right now we're pretty much on track with what I wanted for the planning guide, and we're good to go. Definitely be watching the videos, but remember, the videos alone are not the sole way that we're learning in class, and anyone who's in class can know this and attest to this. The videos that I have in class are online here on the channel. They are just an extension of what we are doing in class. Now, for those of you, if you're a virtual learner, then that's 100% how you basically get your lessons. But you will also notice that those lessons, pretty much most of them, and any of those that I haven't done this, I'm going to go back and check it. But there's chapters. What I've done is I've set time spots, chapters within the videos, where you can click on it and jump to that part of the video, and it has some sort of heading and title. Could be an example that is being done, and or a particular topic that's being discussed. And you can jump right to it. So if ever you forget something, or you're looking over your nose trying to review, you can go back to that video. Hopefully you would have made a note that, hey, this video is what has this information in it. That is studying, is taking those types of notes for yourself. And just using that to help sort of review what you're doing. If you're not in my class, obviously that's your sole thing. If you're virtual, that's it as well. If you're virtual, sometimes we have meetings where we do like a one-on-one. If you are physically in my class, then those videos are they're just on the side to augment what we're doing. So there are people who are using it in different ways. For instance, recently I had a student who had been out for a little over a week. And that student, when they came back to class that following week, the stuff we were working on, they were actually one of the few people in class that was offering up an answer. And I remember talking to the student and just kind of saying, hey, good job. How did you know that? And what he said was, well, I watched the video. And he's not alone. I've had other students on the outside of class ask me, hey, I went ahead and watched this video. Is it okay if I do that before I come to class? And I'm like, yeah, fantastic. If you want to watch the videos before you come to class and kind of already get your mind thinking about that, so that when you see it from me in class, that it's not necessarily the first time you've seen it, and it may help you. By all means, please do that. I highly encourage that. So the videos, I try to keep them shorter. Some of those videos are like 40 minutes long, but I have chapters in them where you can break it into small chunks. But I try to keep them somewhere to about like a 20-minute or so lesson. But it doesn't matter. No matter what the length of time is, there's chunks of information, and it's very valuable information for you. So there's just multiple ways to be doing that. But everything we have in class is online and vice versa. But if you're showing up to class and taking notes, you should be good. But I highly encourage you to then look at the videos as well, because oftentimes I'll do practice problems, concepts in the video that are related to what we're talking about in class. So, but they're not the exact same ones that we're doing in class. And so you'll hear the same thing, but extra work. And with that in mind, keep in mind that I have those problem sets that are on the planning guide. Hang on a second. So there's the automatic sensors right there. If you've watched some of my other videos, that may have happened. Those automatic sensors, they only go on for a short period of time. We're about 7 minutes into this video. I'll cut this thing short here. This is not 7 minutes. You can do that. What was I saying before those lights went off? No, that wasn't it. I think I forgot what I was talking about. Hang on a second. Maybe coffee will help. Problem sets and optional assignments. The problem sets, you don't have to do them. They are there. They're practice problems that are just more examples and extensions of what we're doing in class. So we always do a bunch of practice problems in class, and through me questioning and you questioning and us just dialoguing back and forth, we get to all those answers and we highlight that, and we do that multiple ways. The problem sets are just extra problems that you can work on. And remember, I provided answer keys for each and every one of those that you have access to. If you're a student enrolled in my class, then you have access through the secured Google site that is with my district. If you're not one of my students, then you're going to be accessing all those through a different means. I have like some stuff I do on the side, and I have extra things that are beyond outside of what I do in school, and people have access to that. And that's so either way, it all fits. It all works for you. I have it set up for that. And then those optional assignments that I have, again, if you're a student enrolled in class and all this is for a grade, then there are optional assignments there for you. Again, those optional assignments have due dates and deadlines, and it clearly states that in the planning guide. It states that in the calendar as well as when that is. If those are ever extended, then I always put a little note in the calendar info bubble, as I was mentioning earlier in the video. So again, there's a lot of redundancy in what we're doing, how I have things set up, so that you can be as successful as possible. That's what I want. I want you to be as successful as possible. If everybody makes 100 in my class, I'm gonna put 100 in the grade book for everybody. But again, at the end of the day, what I'm doing is you're just being measured with how prepared you are at that time. And remember, I mentioned this in class, or if you have me in class, I've mentioned this. I will never give an assessment to any of my students until I am sure I've done for you what I would expect a teacher to do for my own child. So I would expect that they have given due diligence to in allowing enough time and for the teacher, for me and you, to interact back and forth, and for you to ask questions, for me to answer those questions, for me to sort of lead you in the direction that I know you're going to need to be. I've been doing this for a while, and to rinse and repeat and to practice and make mistakes and fix those mistakes, you and I together, to give you plenty of time to work on these extra problems if you so choose to watch the videos, to get more questions. I do that. My entire focus and how I do things, it's the same way I would expect someone to do that for my son. And in that equation my son, I expect him to invest himself in the learning and what he's doing. When he doesn't get as much out of it as he could, and that's on him. So that's what I'm expecting everybody to do that. I mean, and that's just kind of a life lesson, right? No matter what we're doing, we're going to get out of it what we invest, what we put into it, which is why I invest so much in these videos that I make and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I reach 100 people, like I just got 100 subscribers on this channel. So whenever you're watching this thing, if there's more or less than that, then you know that number changed. But that was kind of neat. I've been investing time into doing this, and really the reason for me to invest time in this is not to become some big YouTube sensation or anything like that, or whatever. It's really not my thing. That's not why I'm doing this. If that happens, I guess that's great. But this all is because I wanted to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can for my students so that they have every means possible to be successful in my class. And I also kind of like doing some artistic creative stuff. So I used to like draw a lot when I was younger, and I've been trying to pick that back up a little bit. But part of that creativity in this modern age is doing some things like this. And I don't know, it's kind of interesting. You know, you ought to try it sometime. Try just video recording yourself and making a video sort of diary of what's going on in your life and things of that nature. You know, just be careful how what you do with stuff like that. But that's kind of what this is. It's just my own little project for that, and just makes me feel good doing it, kind of having cameras and kind of doing some video editing and things like that, creating more content. I just got a notification about 100 subscribers, which was great. And I got another subscriber from someone who was in Canada, which is neat. I have no idea who they are, but it was nice that they reached out. And so that's great. And I'll continue to do that and do what I can to help anybody and everybody. It's just kind of fun for me at this point. So learning is not always fun. It's not always exciting. Sometimes it's just a lot of hard work. But that hard work, we're going to let it pay off. It's going to pay off. It will pay off. So I'm here with you. I'm here for you. Reach out to me if there's something I can do to help. If there's a particular lesson video that you would like me to make, I'll be more than happy to do that. Give me the details. If you got questions about whatever, or about whatever's in the video, leave a comment in the videos, because as soon as you do that, I get a notification and I can give you some direct feedback immediately on that. That'd be great. So I'm gonna cut this short. I'm gonna go stop this now. This is just a quick note, quick reminder for everyone. Take care, study hard. I will see you in soon rule class. And it's always fun learning with you, and we'll do some science soon. Go have some coffee. Enjoy yourself. Bye.